I remember how many times BNDES was accused of having hidden dealings. I'm going to put an end to the hidden dealings at BNDES. The idiot won the elections. He didn't find any hidden wrongdoing. The real problem was in his head, which was lacking intelligence. He had no intelligence. And after criticizing BNDES and investigating, he had to acknowledge BNDES's competence, which is the bank we have. The greatest expertise in long-term investment for Brazilian industry. And do you know how much they've had in defaults? Almost zero. A demonstration of the seriousness with which BNDES works. And our comrade Aloysio Mercadante is a source of pride for us, and the BNDES board is also a source of pride for us. These things only happen because we put people who care about this country in charge. We receive the news. This year we're going to register 3 million cars again. We've grown by 1.4 million cars, in these 3.5 years. This shows that this country was almost destroyed. This country here, when we talk about education, when we talk about technology, when we talk about industry, when we talk about the Ministry of Labor, the Ministry of Development, the Ministry of Racial Equality, the Ministry of Women, all of them were dismantled. Countless. A lot of morality. I told them there was no explanation. Political, economic, social, and as a sovereign nation, there was no justification for it either. We presided over a country that had a company which had accumulated the technological knowledge of Vibraves, which produced something so important for the country's security. Paralyzed, being destroyed. At that time, the two biggest creditors were BNDES and the Ministry of Technology. At the time, I even suggested to them that the two should talk to the judge, take control of Vibraves as the company's creditors, and then we would decide what to do next. So what happens is that when we have a meeting with the minister, afterwards the minister goes to talk with his advisors. The bureaucracy gets involved, and when the bureaucracy gets involved, the Attorney General of the Treasury shows up and says that such a thing can't be done. The ministry's attorney, the lawyer, shows up and says it can't be done. And things keep moving along. I don't think I've spoken to Zé Murcio once in the past 4 years without asking about Vibraves. And I want to tell you that many times I was really pissed off. How can it take so long to solve a problem that the armed forces wanted, that the president wanted, that the minister of defense wanted, that the vice president wanted, that BNDES wanted, that the ministry wanted, and it didn't happen? Many times I was really pissed off because that's how things happen sometimes. No matter how much we want to get things done, there's always, something to get in the way. So that's why I'm happy. That's the first thing. Because we are becoming aware and making Brazilian society aware, we have 16,800 kilometers of land borders. We have 8,000 kilometers of coastline. We are still responsible for controlling 5,700 kilometers of water that we have to take care of in the sea. We share borders with every country in South America except Chile and Ecuador. We have Africa right in front of us. And we have crazy people around the world wanting to start wars. And we can't forget that, even though we only like peace, and we are a peaceful people. We like carnival, we like samba, we like soccer, we like Corinthians, we like Vasco. So look, we like everything and we like peace. But soon we might forget that one fine day Paraguay decided to invade Brazil, invaded Corumbá, invaded Uruguay, at the same time invaded Argentina, and that war that seemed like nothing lasted 5 years. And that war, I don't have the exact numbers yet, but it must have consumed something like the country's entire budget at that time. Because when there's trouble, nobody asks if there's money or not. When trouble starts, either you find a way or you're screwed. So we are a nation that takes care of its defense. This country is very powerful. Besides this area of 8.5 million square kilometers, we still don't know the wealth of critical minerals and rare earths that we have in this country. We have the largest forest in the world. as a reserve. We have 12% of the Earth's water. We have 217.214 million people that we have to take care of. So we need to take into account that defense is serious. Because if we talk to some people, they'll say, we have to spend money on the armed forces. For what? We don't need that. We don't need that. I always say this, the armed forces are like God. You may not believe, but when you have your first stomachache, you'll go, oh my God. Isn't that right? So, it's the same with the armed forces. That's why I say this. I want the armed forces to be well prepared, well trained, with enough soldiers to take care of this country. And I want it to be well prepared in terms of firepower and scientific and technological knowledge, so that we can move forward, head held high, without any arrogance, speaking of peace, but prepared not to let anyone meddle in our country. That's why I'm happy to be here. And the third reason I'm happy is because of the workers. I confess to you, comrade, Mr. Union President, I didn't know you. I only met you here. The moment when workers went 33 months without receiving a salary, 36, this company has been closed for more than 2 years. And here not a single light was broken. Here not a single faucet was stolen. And all the machines necessary for the operation of the companies are untouched, ready to produce for many more years. That's what I want to tell you. I want to tell you that I am very proud of all of you, and also very proud of the ability to reach an agreement. Because not just anyone accepts an agreement to receive back pay in 36 months, even up to 48 months. What you did was a gesture of great political maturity. That's why I congratulate the union, because it was a very politically mature position. First, for understanding the importance of the company. Second, for understanding that the most important thing was for you to get back to work, to have your regular pay and your back pay, to split it up so we can help find the money and you can get paid. And for Brazil to have a clear conscience, given your greatness, in making this agreement to revive Vibrasis. I want to tell you that you can rest assured. I've already spoken with my minister Zemuso, I've already spoken with Luciana, and I've already spoken with the man here from Vibrasis Consumem. We will, for every amount of money that comes into Vibrasis, we have to make sure that a part of it will be used to pay the debt and overdue payments to the workers. You are a source of pride for the President of the Republic, and the Union is a source of pride. Because of the maturity, the understanding of the importance of the company, and the political moment we are living in, we have to be a source of pride for the workers and fulfill what we promised. Or in the workers' agreement, that's simply what we have to do. This country, when Vibrasis returns to this country, Alkman and I, yesterday, the day before yesterday, we welcomed the automotive industry, Stellantis, an Italian company that makes Fiat, right? So we welcomed them. One thing for you to know, in 2012, Brazil was licensing 3 million per year. And 800,000 cars were registered every year. In 2012, it was 3.8 million. When I voted in 2023, Brazil was only registering 1.6 million cars. Half of what we used to register in 2012 and the day before yesterday. So, comrades, today is a special day for the Brazilian armed forces, which now have to prepare for us to place the necessary orders with a medium and long-term mindset, so that Brazil, if someone, for a while I was a young guy, I had a .22 Derringer, and I wouldn't put the bullet in the Derringer because I was afraid of hurting myself with the bullets. Brazil can't be like that. We can't have the armed forces, have pilots, little tents, and not have the things we need. When someone wants to invade us, we say, don't invade now, let me go buy what I need first. Give me some time. No one waits, man. No one waits. So, the armed forces, together with the Ministry of Defense, will get ready so we can place the orders we need to make. We're going to have to travel Zimuxo, here, or Mato, selling things. And when I sell a weapon abroad, I say, folks, this weapon was made by Brazilian workers, many of them Corinthians fans, and they don't want to kill anyone. This weapon is for peace. This weapon isn't for you to use. It's just for you to say you have it, so no one messes with you. And we're going to sell it. And something that was said here by my comrade Alkman, we used to export 600 million through Vibras. 600 million. This year, in the defense sector, we exported 3 billion, and that 700 million will be able to do much more. And what I can tell you is that whatever I can do to make sure your jobs are secure, and that you can support your wives, your children, your families with your own hard work, you can be sure that I will do it. That's why. A big hug to Alckmin, to the defense sector, to Marcio, to BNDES, and to Villabras. And congratulations to the union.